Now, I haven't told you guys we are talking about eggs in one basket, yeah? In business, of course, it may be unwise to set one side on a single thing, but alternative avenues for profit ought to be explored. And we are talking about a lady who has really explored in terms of business areas, and she is the owner of Davik Investments. And not only Davik Investments, she's the owner and founder of Davik Vintage and Daviki Auto Imports. Now, Vicky, who is Davinki, the businesswoman? Just who exactly are we talking about here?
Oh, thank you. Miss Happy Daviki is, she is a passionate and determined entrepreneur, going with a Victoria Memangoroko Shanika, raised and born in Orani Osika village. So it's really a person that started from the humble beginning, and she is known for a strong heart, working in ethic and creativity. Yeah. So Daviki has used her reputation for reliability and excellency among the society.
Wow, that's nice. I love how you explain that. You know, a lot of people, when you ask them who is happy, I might stumble along and be like, okay, I'm not. I love how you really know who you are. I love that. Now, when you ventured into business, Daviki, what did you initially start with?
Actually, I started selling bales of second-hand clothes, and start selling, getting those goods from Angola. And then when time goes, I expanded my business. So that's why I am now well known with Daviki Auto Import.
Vicky, I lost you a bit there. Vicky? I lost you a little bit. Anyway, let's pause here for now and of course take a trip to the marketplace. We'll be back shortly to engage further on more on this conversation about not putting your eggs in one basket, okay? Welcome back. And like I said, today we're talking about not putting your eggs in one basket when it comes to business avenues. Now, one of the reasons why why diversification is very important, why it's important for you as a business person to diversify is so you can spread your investments and resources across various sectors or industries. And this will help reduce dependency on a particular single avenue stream. And that way, when one particular avenue stream is not generating income as it should be, then you look onto the other aspect. Hence why you shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. Now, another particular aspect is that it helps with risk management. Now, you identify potential risks and you develop strategies that will help to minimize their impact on your business. Yeah. So, in other words, as you diverge into different business avenues, you now also, in a way, trying to potentially, look at the aspect of risk management. As much as you're taking a risk, you're also being cautious, in terms of the other particular business. If something happens that is quite, was not going to be foreseen with the other business, at least you have something to fall back on with this particular business you have. Now also it helps with the business expansion. As you are venturing into a new avenue, you explore new markets, you explore new products, you explore new services, and you increase avenue and expand the business. Now your business is known perhaps for eggs, and then now you introduce, what can I say, milk, but you also get new customers. Those who probably are not a fan of eggs, don't prioritize eggs, but they prioritize fresh milk, for instance, or cultured milk, for instance. Will you get now new customers in this aspect of milk, opposed to only having a set of customers for the eggs? Nonetheless, I am still joined in studio by Daviki herself, who is a businesswoman, and we're continuing to speak about not putting your eggs in one basket, referring to her story as a businesswoman. Now, of course, Daviki, we kind of lost each other there because of network issues, and I know it has been raining right here in the capital city of Namibia. But let's get back to that question of where you started and where you are now in terms of business avenue.
Thank you so much, Happy. I myself, Daviki, I started with selling bales of from Angola, getting my clients the second-hand clothes. We saw either a bale or one-by-one clothes by selling in my garage, home-based rubbish bay at Osha Street. So my business is expanding. I venture into importing cars, whereby I am well known as Daviki Auto Imports and Daviki Vintage Collection.
Very interesting. You started off small and you grew big, as opposed to a lot of people usually start off big and then the business crumbles. Oh no, I have a scheduled commercial break coming up, Vicky. Let's just take that and then we'll continue our conversation.
Okay.
Okay. And for you, the listeners at home, please stay tuned. We'll be back shortly after this commercial break. Okay, Vicky, we are back now. Of course, it's continuing with our conversation on diversification of business. Now, I was saying that I appreciate how you started off small and grew over time, because, you know, I think sometimes we grab way too much more than we can chew in terms of business. You started off with, let's say, for instance, I'm a business person. I start off with something, and before it can even pick up, I'm already on to the next thing. Why is it very important for a business person to wait for their business to grow before you venture into another business?
You know, business is very unpredictable. Okay, if one venture into another, if one venture into one business and it fails, obviously it has to slow down so other can keep it financially stable. So you know.
Vicky, I'm losing you again. Well, unfortunately, I'm losing her again. We might have to just continue for now without her. Obviously, network is also giving some issues, but nonetheless, this is the business economic segment. Let's just continue without our guest for now. Okay. Now, of course, as I was saying about the importance of venturing into other businesses, is that it helps you to grow. It helps you to take on other avenues that bring in income, that bring you potential income, that can then, in a way, you're mainstreaming. You're going into other avenues to bring more income, to introduce more products, or to introduce more services to your customers. Hence why you make a household name. Yeah. You make a household name for you. And sometimes people will come and buy from you, not specifically because, of this particular product you're selling, but majorly also because they've known you and can trust you for producing very good products, or perhaps quality products, and giving very good services. So you will generate more customers, and you keep more customers, and not only that, you make more money. So revenue comes into your business, and that's quite very important. Now, before you actually go into venturing into diversification, you want to be very careful, because you don't want to overburden yourself, and then all the the revenues that you thought were going to come in, you actually end up losing even that which you have already invested in this particular source of revenue that you thought was going to come in. So you want to be very careful by not overloading yourself with so many businesses, with so many mainstream, going into many different mainstreams. You want to be very careful in that aspect, and rather take closer step and study, so that you then see the risk. Of course, business is about risk. We all know that, right? You take a risk when you go into business, but then there are some risks that are kind of like a little bit predictable if you do enough research on it, if you calculate very well. So you need to be very careful. As much as you're taking a risk, you need to see how much of a risk really, what is the possibility of you falling back flat and losing all this investment that you're putting, and versus what is the potential of investing this money and the probability of you actually doing really well in succeeding in this particular business. So you need to do your market research so that you can understand the target market and the potential opportunities. Of course, you don't just stand up and get into something. As much as you're already a business person who has something that is thriving, you still need to study the audience. You still need to study your target market. You still need to see what other companies or other people that are selling the same product or offering the same service are doing themselves. So you still need to do that, which is quite very important. Yeah. And that's something that you really have to look into, calculate your steps very well so that you don't just make a decision quickly because, okay, well, I'm not supposed to have my eggs in one basket, or not necessarily not supposed to, but I want to grow. If I want my business to grow, then I should look at the aspect of venturing into other things and not having my eggs in one basket. Sometimes you have to dwell with your eggs being in one basket for quite a long time while you study your market, while you look at other avenues, or to say, while you look at your potential, how should I call them? I don't want to say rivals, but you want to look at your potential business people, what type of products are they selling? And if you are going to sell the very same product, what makes you unique? What makes you different from the next product or from the next service being offered by the next person? What is that will make your particular product or service stand out? What is that particular unique thing about your business that you are offering that will make customers run to you and not rather say, no, we are sticking with our particular business person who has been feeding us this particular service or this particular business for the longest time ever. So you need to look at what is it that I am bringing on the table here. So you need to really study that, opposed to just jumping in and getting right into it. And but anyway, let's pause here and take a trip to the marketplace. We'll be back shortly and continue our conversation. Okay, and we are back. Like I told you, this is the business economics segment with me, yours truly, Ndafa Happy Juju. And of course, my guest is now here. Forget all the network issues that have been happening, okay? And that is Victoria Shanika Amunyela, Davik Investments. Yeah. Now, Davik, tell us, why is it very important for business owners not to put their eggs in one basket?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Miss Happy, for having me again. Business is unpredictable, okay? And if one venture failures or slow down, they have to keep your financial stable, diversifying for income streams, for reducing and increasing opportunity for growth. So it's about being smart in which business you are going to do.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to be really smart.
Yes.
Now let's go back to your story. You started off with a bail business, of course.
Yes.
And then you ventured into
importing cars.
Yes. Hush, you climbed the ladder very quickly. But before we come into importing cars, let's start off with the bail business.
Okay.
How was it going for you at first? How when you started off, what are some of the challenges that you're going through that then you decided, and how did you navigate those challenges?
Yeah. It was not really easy because, starting up the business is not really easy because every person has to be having trust issue,
Yeah.
And, correcting money, like, as I said, I didn't have so much capital to start my business. So I have to advertise my business all over social media to get clients.
Hold on, let's stay right there. And before you move on, I'm sorry to cut you. You speak about you had to advertise your business all over social media.
Yes.
Why is marketing and advertising of a business very important and crucial for any business?
In my own capacity now, I always tell myself, advertising your business is very, very important because if not one or two people are watching you, and one day it's gonna be one day.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Oh, okay. It was not really easy because, you advertise your business. Today you get one client, tomorrow no client, but I still going. Still going because I believe one day will be one day. And, these days you have to get, hard clients. Not all clients are the same. You get this tough client, you tell the client, no, my order take 3 to 4 days or 3 to 14 days. But when the client see the 3 days passed, the client has to start asking the refund and so and so.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then what do you do in that scenario?
If I find a client that really asking for a refund, like on my time that I was starting my business, obviously I have to borrow money from my sisters so I can just refund the people.
Yeah.
Because I believe in, if you let people identifying your name that you didn't refund, they will say you are a scammer.
Exactly.
You will end up not getting client because you are just starting, you are a starter. You know,
this is exactly one of the points that we were speaking about yesterday in the business economic segment, to say, you suffer the loss because at the end of the day, you want to build a relationship with your client. But then, did you perhaps also employ means of saying, okay, my order usually takes 3 to 4 days or 3 to 5 days. Did you maybe extend the days just to be safe? Maybe to say, okay, my order takes between 5 and 7 days. Did you maybe consider doing something like that?
Yes, I did, but sometimes, sometimes order can come earlier than what you expect. But sometimes my supplier now that I build trust with in Angola, they might not send their goods the day that they have supposed to send their goods, and you end up the dates have to go to pass. And when it's 2 or 3 days, the client will start asking, no, the other time the order day comes early.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. I think, then, this brings us to another important aspect of educating our customers.
Yes.
I think it's quite important also that we educate our customers and say, okay, my product is like this, but then, sometimes it comes early, sometimes it comes late, but bear with me. At the end of the day, you really want to retain your customers. You don't want to, I think a lot of, business people make the mistake of just, trying to get new customers and forget about the old customers.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So, like in my case, I'm that one person that I always, if a client wants to go up, I really apologize. I said, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
So sometimes, you have to go guilty and you have to lose your pride just to keep your client.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. That's business.
Yes.
Exactly. Anyway, let's pause here and take a trip to the marketplace. But I tell you, we're just getting started in terms of not putting your eggs in one basket. Stay tuned right here on the business economic segment.
Lipura nengeno wapumbwa eva tera ulikoni maondo toingida ashike kapeno nuku dite opoye ekukulile oshafafana nongeshe faili mehola mo ihewetike kovano ile koshiwala onongeshe fa yapumbwa kukaraya kovano okupitiramo Eagle FM otuna ebitoda njuka okukwetera oipindi konu kondado inawa nuneudo otukwetera o special ngeta shake ngeshe fa omarudi dayo loka opone ushenji fenawa nokumona oijamwiri nawa ningepata fanona Monica ko Eagle FM onmara etatime bali heali nola natu heali bali no heali ile komberewa nora hetatu natu bali o hetatu matatu o mafilane Eagle FM the eye.
Eagle FM lets you express your constitutional rights of freedom of expression without fear of favor.
This is actually, to put it mildly, an economic scandal.
Fraud. So
not fraud, it's a scandal. Why do you give a tender to somebody who does not have capacity to build? Why should you do that? You know a person that doesn't have the capacity to build.
Eagle FM.
Großartige Neuigkeiten. Imba ist jetzt noch besser geworden. Wir haben brandneue Funktionen hinzugefügt, um dein Erlebnis noch reibungsloser, schneller und leistungsstärker zu machen als je zuvor. Bereit, das volle Potenzial von Imba freizuschalten? Erhalte alle exklusiven Funktionen für nur 36 Namibia-Dollar pro Monat oder spare noch mehr mit unserem speziellen Abonnementplänen. 5% Rabatt bei einem 3-Monats-Abonnement, 10% Rabatt bei einem 6-Monats-Abonnement oder 25% Rabatt bei einem 12-Monats-Abonnement. Wähle den Plan, der am besten zu dir passt und genieße alles, was Imba zu bieten hat, zu einem unschlagbaren Preis. Imba, where the world congregates. Lade es herunter und abonniere noch heute.
Why should you do that? You know a person that doesn't have the capacity to build.
Eagle FM lets you talk.
That's why I'm always telling people in Parliament, let me not take up my Katatura menace.
Right.
Because I grew up in Katatura. And I will not hesitate to tell you off if it is needed to do.
Be part of the debate by setting the agenda.
My response in terms of Rwanda at 6% is that we had been there before. We've had 6% growth before. It's not something that Namibia has not achieved in the past. And it's not something that Namibia will not be able to achieve in the future.
Eagle FM, the eye.
Stop everything. These bargains at YouSave are too good to pass by. 4 kilos real good frozen mixed chicken portions, just 194.99 Namibian dollars. 5 kilograms pasta polana, 109.99 Namibian dollars. 10 kilogram top score instant maize porridge, also just 109.99 Namibian dollars. 500 grams of Rama 70% fat spread, just 27.99 Namibian dollars. 1 kilogram U-brand frozen mixed vegetables, just 36.99 Namibian dollars. You save, I save. Yes, we all save at YouSave.
And we are back. This is the business economic segment right here on Eagle FM. Of course, we are here with Davik, and we are here to teach you on not putting your eggs in one basket. We also want to learn from you, okay? Let's not, it's a two-way street at the end of the day. Our studio line is also very much open. You can come through perhaps a few minutes from now. That is 083-288-401. That's the number in studio. Now, Daviki, now, eventually, as you were doing your bail business, and then you ventured into importing cars, which is what you're doing now, but still doing your bail business, right?
Yes.
You know, very interesting. Now, of course, as you had to now move into importing cars, at what point did you feel like, okay, it's safe for me to venture into the next business while I still have this one, doing very well?
You know, when I started my bail business, I wanted a second business. Though I didn't have enough capital, I already trusted. I built trust with my customer from the other business. And then I told myself, no, if other people are doing it, I have to venture into importing cars. So my story is very funny. If I have to go back how I started my car business, it was year 2023.
Okay.
I saw a link on Facebook. Whereby somebody is advertising, selling supplier. Then I decided I'll buy a supplier. So I venture into auto importing cars.
Yeah.
So when I buy a supplier, it was a very big mistake that I have done in my whole life.
Okay.
Because I end up being scammed 158,000. Because of the link that I just see other people are doing business, but I did not do a research. I did not do a research of it. You know, I learned to tell myself before I venture into a certain business, I have to do a research. So it was a very disappointment,
a beautiful
but I tell
lesson,
myself, and it was a very good lesson because I tell myself, I will not give up.
Exactly.
I have to continue.
Yeah.
So now that year 2023, when I was scammed, I decided, okay, I will not stop.
Nice.
I will not stop, and I continued, whereby I asked some deposit from a certain people. And I end up refunding those clients. Yes.
You know what? I think it's the risk takers that actually make it in business.
Yes.
You have to be very bold in business. You know, you have to take the risk. Where you make a loss, you still rise, you still get up and continue. But nonetheless, as you now learned that lesson, because, you know, sometimes when, let's say for instance, I've lost some money. Yeah. I always compare to say, what if it would have been more money that I would have lost?
Exactly.
You know? So sometimes there are certain mistakes that you can only learn by experience, and you can only learn them through loss. You know, that painful experience through loss, you're most likely not to repeat it again.
Yes.
And especially also when the business is thriving, you wouldn't want to make this mistake when the business is thriving very beautifully. But nonetheless, now that as you ventured into import business and then you had to get up again and doing your research, what are some of those things that were in the back of your mind to say, okay, this needs to be in place, this needs to be, you know, and stuff like that?
Oh, okay. I tell myself, I'll never let to go into a third part anymore, because I let a third part to come into my business where I have made a loss. So I decided to be on my own, whereby I decided, okay, let me just buy my car straight from Japan, whereby I'm doing it right now. And my clients, I didn't never mind of customers, because I told myself and I trust myself. I already have customers from Bales. I trust them. They will come through. So yes.
Yeah. That's because you build a really good relationship with your prior clients,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. And that's important, of building a relationship with your clients so that wherever you go, I was giving an example to say, if for instance, I sell eggs and it's thriving very well, and then I decide to take on fresh milk, sometimes also you gain new customers.
Yes,
We're not
yes,
supporting the egg business, but we now come and support the milk business. And then again, you also get the egg customers to come and support the milk business.
Yes.
Because they know that you can be trusted.
Exactly,
And you've
yes.
developed a relationship with
Yes.
them. That's very, very interesting, David.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, but then, speak to another person out there who is currently having a business that is thriving, and they want to venture into a new business avenue. What are some of those pointers that they have to keep in mind as a business person?
If you are out there and you are thinking of venturing into any business that you are thinking of, go for it. Just go for it. But first of all, do your good research. A good research will really make your business progressing. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Now that you're having two businesses that you're managing, is it 2 or 3?
I do multiple business.
A whole businesswoman.
Yes.
A whole businesswoman. Okay, cool. Now that you have multiple businesses and different streams of avenue, yeah, and of course also different responsibilities, how do you then balance to make sure that you don't give one business more attention and the other business actually begins to lose out?
Seriously, I don't know.
Yeah?
But I'm that one person that I give all my business attention, same attention. And if a client is on on the bales business, I give more attention. If it's on cars, the same. I don't know how do I do it, but I honestly do it so well. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I'm a wife.
Yeah.
But I always try here at home. I have to
Of
balance
course.
it.
Exactly.
And my work has to be done. My clients has to call. So it's okay with me. Yes.
But then again, it's a woman thing.
Yeah.
We are very good at multitasking.
Exactly, yes.
We're very good at multitasking. I think, yeah. So, but then, to make sure that a business stays afloat, yeah, for those who have now ventured into other avenues or yet venturing into other avenues, I think it's a mistake sometimes, that business people also do make, whereby, because the particular business, the new business is now thriving and doing really well, they kind of step aside from that and they kind of focus on that and leave the other one perhaps into the hands of somebody. But for you, are you still running your business by yourself, or do you have people that are helping you? And also, how did you go about choosing the people who should work with you, considering that you were also very cautious about bringing in a third party?
I have people that works for me.
Okay.
But running the business, I do everything on my own, as long as my people are selling or do advertising for me. Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask this as well, to see, how do you draw the line? Because you are still in charge of still a lot of stuff, and then they do other stuff. When do you actually weigh to say, okay, they can do this and this I have to do? Because I know some businesses have also broken down or gone into debt because I trusted this particular worker or this particular employee to be doing this, but unfortunately they were not coming forth as they should be. And then in the long run, the business actually kind of goes down, not because it's entirely my fault, but because I was focusing on the other one and leaving it to this particular person. What do you say about that?
Oh, okay. Like, with me, I don't allow my workers to answer calls, like calls for my customers, because they might be moody, like they might not answer the customer the way I am answering them. At the end of the day, I will lose that client. Okay. And then I don't allow my people to work with money, like money. I don't, because money is money,
Exactly.
Money is money. And, like, as I said, it involves money. Money can be evil, and anyone can do bad with money. And then my name will go like, no, it's Daviki. At the end of the day, I'll be braided like I'm a scammer.
Yeah. I think I really appreciate your concept of not wanting the business to be branded or cold or, whereby it's, the business should not be tarnished, and that's very, very important, Why is that so very dear to your heart? Of course, it's important, but why is that so very dear to your heart?
It's because, I always tell people, I don't do business for a day. I am doing business for a living. And, I always, respect my business and my clients because they are the ones that are giving me bread. They are the ones that are making me to feed my babies. So yes, so I don't do business for one day. I do business for a living, and I want a name Daviki to stay, to be embedded. Even if I'm not there, it should remain there. That there was Daviki. Yes.
Like sort of like a household name.
Yes.
A very good household business name.
Yes.
Yes. That's very interesting. Now, Vicky, if when we're talking about coming back to your bail business, and you've been in this bail business for how long?
Since 2017.
You're very consistent.
Yes.
2018 is a long time ago. COVID came and you still.
2017, 2018, yes.
Yeah. But how did you navigate your business during COVID?
Yeah, it was not easy, but I have to try it all because the borders were closed.
Yes.
And then that was the time I have to build a very strong trust with my suppliers because I was making sure I should not get things that I did not order because clients will send me back those things if you send them things that are not ordered. And sometimes supplier can write a dress on a bail, but inside there is kid clothes, and I don't open, and I don't open bails. When the bail is coming to me, when it's going to the customer, then the customer will be like, no, I did not order kids clothes.
Yeah.
No, I want my refund. I cannot. So it was really not easy to, especially on COVID time, it was not easy because you have to build a strong relationship. I have to build a strong relationship between my suppliers because supplier is a human being like me.
Yes.
They can do mistake.
Yeah.
And with me, I don't open bails. I don't. A bail can come and I'll just rely on a supplier, what he wrote or she wrote. If it's a dress, then I say, oh, it's a dress.
Yeah.
Because it's in a sack. So when it get to the client, then they will be like, no. I ordered dresses. I didn't order kid mix. Then you'll be like, oh, really? Yes. So it was not easy for COVID time because I couldn't go myself. Because like now, I'm so flexible where I can decide I'll go to Angola and buy my customer's bail where I have to make sure this is what.
Yes. Very interesting. Now, in that instance, or was it something that is not very common, whereby where the supplier will give the wrong product, but when they do give the wrong product, is there an alternative where you can send back the bail and get another one, or what's the way forward?
Angola suppliers are very funny, if I may say that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they will tell you, okay, just sell. They will just tell you, sell. I'll give you a discount on your second purchase. But when you are going back to say, I want to buy my bill, they will say you, no discount, So it's just me to play so well with my client, not to disappoint my client. Yes.
I hear you. But it's quite not easy, hey?
It's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy. Yeah, people think it's very easy.
Yeah.
When one is doing business, a lot of people think, it's easy. Just like me, I was thinking any business is easy, but it's not really easy to run a business. It's not easy. Yes.
A lot really goes into it.
It's
sometimes you can also meet challenges,
a lot.
Whether it's from the bank, whether it's from the, and I think it's a part where you have to keep yourself going, You can also be receiving criticism from your workers themselves,
yes,
the suppliers, perhaps, the employees, the customers, and it becomes very overwhelming. But I think it's that part where you just have to continue going.
Yes.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you do reap the fruits of the hard work.
It's true.
Now, moving away from your bail business, and moving to cars and importing cars. I think there you took a really sharp risk.
Yes, I did.
Now, I do advocate for taking risk, but I don't know if it was me, I'll be a bit hesitant to say, can I?
No, I did.
But then, you said you started off with importing cars, and of course you suffered your loss of being scammed and everything, and then you decided you take it upon yourself. But with this particular business, how was it like actually now bringing it into the market, introducing it to the people? Was it a little bit easier compared to the first one because you've already built a customer base relationship?
It was not really difficult because my clients and a lot of people knew me already from social media.
Yeah.
So I really had, I got a lot of clients because they knew me already.
Yeah.
So no, it's Daviki and we trust her. So let's just buy our cars from her. So a lot of people, they really trust me when it's come to cars business.
Yeah.
I can say more than my more than my first baby.
Yeah.
Because my bales business is my first baby. That was my first business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listeners, did you hear that? It becomes easier as you venture into another business, you know? And I think this is the emphasis of us saying, do not put your eggs into one basket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate that. But of course, let's pause right here and take a trip to the marketplace now should you be interested in asking questions or perhaps sharing your opinions and contributions. Perhaps you are a very good regular customer with Davik. Please come through. 083-288-8401 is the number in studio. And of course, we are back with you're tuned into the business economic segment with me, yours truly, Ndafa. Happy June. Of course, I am joined by Daviki right here, in studio. Now, of course, Daviki, I think I should have asked a question that I have not asked from the very beginning. At what point, you know, in life, because I'm from the way I'm listening to our conversation, I'm thinking you probably went into business very early on, you know? At what point did you actually go into business, you know? And how was it when you did it? Perhaps was it in high school? Exactly at what point did you venture into business?
Oh, wow. Thank you. You know, Miss Happy, you know what? I'm that one person who, among my siblings, I did not attend varsity. I always tell people, I'm that one person who I did not attend varsity, and I am a grade 12 failure, but I'm not a failure in life. I always tell people that.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
One.
So I've been suffering. 2018, I went through depression whereby I was borrowing money from people. Anybody that is coming in my heart thinking that I want to ask money, I ask money. So my little sister, who is a graduated nurse, so told me, no, stop asking money. You are too big to borrow money from people.
Yeah.
So I'll give you money to start a certain business. So it's when I venture into bales business with a 2,500. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like the story, but please continue.
So when she sent me the 2,500, it's when I start now going to Angola, building trust with my customers now. So with my importing cars, it was, I was just advertising my business all over social media. I make a poster and then people came through, like 4 people came through with their deposit of 20,000, whereby I end up being scammed 158,000.
Yeah.
So when I scammed, I have to refund these people back. Luckily enough, my sisters and my mom, they got me. So they helped me to refund these people.
And they believed in you.
Yes. Cause I wanted to give up and then they were like, no, you don't give up. This one is good for you. You don't give up. So I told myself I will not. So by then, my husband was at work. I told him I was scammed. Then he said, okay, I'll add for you. So you venture into business.
Interesting.
Because he trusted me with the business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now this people do not regret.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, are your positive character traits that made people notice that you will do very good in business?
I'm very passionate. Very. And I'm that one person, if I say, I'll do it and I'll make it, I'll go for it. Yeah. That's me.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So, wow. I do appreciate, you know, I'm a person who appreciates honesty, and I appreciate, you know, the foundation. I think that's why I host life lessons right here on Eagle FM.
Yes.
We always look at the foundation of, sometimes we look at the fruits of somebody, how they are thriving. We often don't know what actually went into that. Yeah, while we are on this particular topic, why don't you speak to that one person who says, okay, it seems like I'm not doing very well academically, because I'm a person also who believes that, you know what, it's not only in books that you can make it in life. Yeah.
Yes.
So speak to the one particular person who has really tried, theory wise and school wise, and perhaps they didn't get opportunity to go to varsity, or sometimes because of finances. Encourage them to also get up on their feet, and perhaps they have the potential to do really good in business.
Oh, okay. Wow. Somebody out there who is really want to give up with life because you think one can just make it up because you went to varsity or you pass your grades. Please, here is Daviki. Here is me. I am a grade 12 failure with 17 points. And people that didn't believe in me, today they believe in me. Here I am. So you don't need to give up. You just need to focus. And whatever you want to do go for it. Go for it. There is no late. There is no late in business. In life or in Oshivambo, they said, komeshoka kuna mwene. So I don't know how to put it in Oshivambo, in English, but so.
In front, there is no one.
Exactly, yes. Komeshoka kuna mwene, because anybody can go there. Because people that they were thinking that, they make it in school.
Exactly.
Those are the people now. They are my customers.
Yeah.
So, komeshoka kuna mwene.
Exactly.
So just keep focus.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know how nowadays people do on social media? They say, they'll write something. For instance, say, in front there is no one. And then they'll say, Batino Shiwambo. And when you actually, get your mind around it, you actually begin laughing to say, oh my word, because you translate directly as
how
it
is. Yes.
Yeah. But really, it's true, that, you know what? You just never know what the future holds. If you don't take the risk, then you won't win, you won't lose, you won't know, you won't learn the lesson. And that's very important in business. But I think, any other business started off, it doesn't always start off easy. And I believe that it requires momentum. You need to really have the passion, like you said. You need to have the passion for what you're doing, regardless of what it is, and especially when it comes to business. I think just the way it goes and the way maybe you get your sweets and you buy your sweets and you get some profit and then you continue going. And then, I always really appreciate a business story that is thriving. But often when you hear that story, you will see that they fell one way or another and they rose up. And I think that's really what we call business people, Yeah. Okay. You know what? As we are coming to the conclusion of our very short but very informative conversation, I think let me hear from you generally, just advice in terms of business. Maybe it's something that I didn't touch on as well.
Nothing really much that you didn't touch, Miss Happy, but anybody out there who is trying to come up with a business, as I say, just go for it. Focus and go for it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you don't know what the future holds for you. Mm-hmm. And I always believe in, I believe that future is for everybody.
True. The business economic segment, you are tuned into it right now. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening.
A very good evening to you, Uncle Bwana.
Fine, thank you. How are you too, and the honorable guest there?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you very much, Mami. Thank you for that encouragement and inspirational kind of motivation.
Okay.
It really teach us to really work hard. Yeah. And also put some prudent management in our business and, the sacrifice, especially when you said you have to balance your business with your secular engagement and all the other aspects of life. Mm-hmm. So that really gives us a very foundational balance to really engage in most of the time, because many a times you say, no, I'm at work, I cannot do the business.
Oh, I have children.
Yeah,
I've got children, I've got a family, and you find out that one area is neglected, and then that becomes a big problem. So now, Jojo, yesterday you were talking about retention of client, customs, and things like that. And now this, in relation to what you are now discussing, that is very important to retain the existing customer or clients. So now yesterday, that's where you were hammering, and I was listening, and then it was very motivational, and it was very building. So those kind of things, how to retain, because the retention is not only in the private sector or, in this one, even in the government, becomes a big problem.
Okay.
To retain the skills, because many a times they are pushed after the government has, molded them up, exposed them, and, give them all this capacity building that they required.
Yeah.
And then after that, so off they go.
I hear.
So sometimes the structure is so rigid that does not, is so narrow, you understand?
Yeah.
That doesn't even accommodate those one whom I want to exit. And these are valuable people, resourceful people that we are talking about. And that retention also is really, unless we come up with a deliberate effort and to make sure that, yes, you do these things, you have a very strong custom based, when you know that relationship that you are creating. But is it now the problem? One question came, I'm concluding now with this question, that yes, the telephone has to be answered by you, or is it an issue of trust, perhaps? I understand you want to make sure that you promote and preserve the reputation, that integrity of the company. But the employees who are there, won't they feel somehow, that kind of trust, So is there anybody that can just answer, just maybe to give them some kind of mentorship and say, fine, answer this, how you approach the client, answer the telephone and so. So how are you? Fine, thank you. So, all this kind of language.
Okay.
So that you can have that. Maybe I just want to know, is it really the reputation, or is it maybe some kind of trust issue, or what is it?
Sorry, sir. It's not really about a trust issue. My company is not really a very big business.
Okay.
So I'm still starting, and I'm still active to answer every client. Okay. But regardless, regarding now the client going to the shop, there is another call that I can just put through my person, and then I tell her, please assist, because they are still babies. I still have to mentor them, Yes, my business is still is still a baby. So I'm still,
right.
and I don't want I don't want my people to go tomorrow to say, no, Daviki company is not good. That's why it's not about trust issue. I trust them because I'm working with them. Yes. It's only that they are still babies. We are still growing.
Thank you very much. You grow the business, you mentor them, and I believe that, you grow to higher heights.
Amen. Thank you.
God bless you. Zuzu.
Yes, Ankapwana.
Thank you very much. This is actually in the context of economic and all these things. You are right. You are just the time that you maybe participation in things like that, but we are happy that you are conducting this kind of program.
Thank you so much, Ankapwana.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay. And of course, we have now come to the conclusion of our very short but interactive and very informative conversation on not putting your eggs in one basket as a business person. And of course, I had in studio with me, or I still have in studio with me, but now we are coming to the close, of course. That is Victoria Shanika Amunyela, and she is the owner of Daviki Investments. Your goodbyes, Daviki, to the listeners.
So, to the listeners out there, thank you so much for your support, because some of you are my good clients and some of you are still coming. So thank you so much for the support. To my lovely husband who is always have my back.
Aww.
I love you, Papi. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And to your lovely sister who invested in you. Thank you so much.
To my little sisters and to my big sisters and to my mom, I can't stop thanking them. They know.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. And of course, we have come to the conclusion of the business economic segment, edition of today. Now, stay tuned for more programs coming your way right here on Eagle FM. Now, should you be interested in listening to this conversation, please head over to our podcast session. If you haven't already, make sure that you download the Eagle FM app or head over to the Eagle FM website. Also, did you know that we have a newspaper that we produce every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that is to teach you on social or inform you on social and economic avenues? All you have to do is send a text message to 081-200-4144 and subscribe to receive your social and economic news on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. Now, from me, Ndafa, happy as usual. It is good night. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here on Eagle FM.